Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas.
Before the break, I asked you a quick question. What color were the first tires? The answer is white, which is the natural color of rubber. The use of carbon black increased its strength and durability.
The SKF Pre 66 Legend production cars and Little Giants were getting ready to take to the track for their 2 heats in round 3 of the Midas Historic Tour.
The 1957 MG Magnet. It was built by Nick Parrott probably about 7 or 8 years ago. Nick bought it and he ran it, and when he moved on to quicker and better things, I bought the car from him. I've done very little to it other than maintenance, and our intention is to keep the MG flag flying in club racing, representative of what would have been happening in the 50s and 60s. She's a heavy beast. Not a heck of a lot of power, but handles quite well and brakes well, and I just have fun with it. I think I drove this track in 1987 or 88 in Group N as well, when they changed the format. So just for sentimental reasons, it's great to be there at the beginning and the end of an era.
We've always been involved with Alphas. My dad used to build them up. A couple of years back, I bought up this car. It's been like 4 or 5 years.
I went always for pit crew to him to try and help him, and I took his car out one day and that was it. Bought one as well, built it up, and now we're both racing together. It's very fun, always competitive, but it's a good competitive, not bad.
As long as I'm the quickest, it doesn't really matter.
My car's got some electrical problem. We're trying to sort it out now. Hopefully I didn't qualify, so I'll come from the back.
It was a good qualifying session, nice cool air, gives lots of engine power, so I had quite a good lap time out there. The car feels actually very good, so I'm looking forward to a good day. I've got Franco and Thomas right behind me, so Franco's normally very quick, so I'm going to put my head down and see if I can get away, and if not, then I might have to play the block game, so we'll see how it goes.
It's great to be back. I think it's going to be a good race. I see Jono's very quick in the Chevy Nova, so yeah, I think the pace will be very hot. I see the Mustang of the Sunday Times Mustang's back. So there's many contenders here. I think it's going to be a hot race, yeah.
Just to go out and really chase as hard as I can. I like to chase, so yeah, it should be good.
As the drivers get ready for race 1, the green flag waves and the action will soon begin. Jonathan Dutoy secures pole position by just over 0.3 of a second from Franco Scribante. Thomas Faulkner and Mark Dutoy are now on row 2. Then it's the Alphas as far as the eye can see, with Terence Buertes in his mini 10th on the grid breaking the run. They're in formation, the lights go out, and the power goes down. Great start from Scribante in second, who leads the field through turn 1. Faulkner and Mark Dutoy are side by side. Then it's a battle of the Alphas with Trevor Tuck ahead of Roy Prondo. Terence Buertes in his Burgundy Mini side by side with Shane Bartman into turn 1. Bartman moves ahead as they go into turn 2. Into turn 3, and Trevor Tuck is hot on the heels of Mark Dutoy in the Chevelle. Larry Davies in his Mustard Alpha leads Gino Alassio in the Green Alpha and Roger Houston in his Blue Alpha as they head up through turn 3 and 4. Into Sunset, the top 4 cars stream. Trevor Tuck and Roy Prondo behind them, locked in battle. Coming into turn 14, and it's Tuck, Alassio, and Houston locked together in a great battle. Alassio has a look down the inside of Tuck as they make their way onto the straight. Neither driver giving an inch, and Houston hangs on behind them, with Davies not far behind. Trevor Tuck manages to stay ahead of Gino Alassio as they come down the straight to turn 1. Larry Davies, meanwhile, has found a way past Roger Houston and is having a look down the inside of Alassio. Alassio is having none of it and keeps Davies behind him as they go through turn 2. Houston seizes his chance and slides down the inside of Davies as they make their way round turn 2. Great racing between these 4, and there's really nothing in it. Into the bowl, and these guys are having a fantastic race. Nice and close, but no touching. Through the corner, and Houston has the inside line on Tuck, and he puts the power down on the exit to take the advantage up to turn 13. Up the hill and around turn 13, Tuck loses out as Davies makes his move and gets ahead of the red machine. Down the hill they drop, and this is a fantastic battle between 4 very evenly matched machines. Positions are constantly changing, almost with every corner, as each driver tries to get the advantage and hold on to it. Down the start-finish straight, and you can see the cars moving around, trying to get themselves into the best position for the corner, both defending and attacking at the same time. Gino Alassio will have his rearview mirror full of the 3 Alphas behind him, jostling for position. Tuck has managed to claw his way back to the front of this battle as he leads Davies, Alassio and Houston through Sunset and up to Clubhouse. Houston runs wide and does a bit of farming before rejoining the battle. Almost 3 abreast as they head into Clubhouse. Through turn 13 and down to the final bend, Mark Dutoy in the smoky Unique Chev Chevelle leads brother Jonathan in the red and white Chevy Nova. The historic tour is all about families, with lots of siblings and parents racing each other, and everyone gets involved in preparing the car and being part for the day. Up into Leocorp, and it's Tuck versus Davies. Tuck with the inside line takes the position and leads the Alphas down to the mine shaft. On the main straight, it's Shane Bartman ahead of Terence Boertes as the pair makes their way to turn 1. Franco Scribante in his bright orange Mustang makes his way through turn 14 and onto the main straight. The blue and white Sunday Times Mustang of Thomas Faulkner is not too far behind him. Coming up on some traffic, Scribante makes his way past Yaku Taylor in the red and white Alpha and Scott Houston in the MGB GT. Down the mine shaft and into the bowl, the Alpha battle comes with Tuck and Davies side by side. Alassio right behind them and Houston just behind him. These 4 have been so close all race, it's like they've been connected with slinkies. Davies running a bit wide there, loses the slight advantage he had, and Tuck moves ahead of him for now, and Alassio is right in his bumper. Tuck has lined himself up and covered the inside line for the final bend. Tuck and Davies lock up under braking as they make their way through turn 14. Davies running slightly wide. Fantastic shot of the 4 Alphas racing down the main straight to turn 1. Davies has the inside line for turn 1, but Tuck has the line going into turn 2 and he manages to keep ahead of Davies. On board of the Thomas Faulkner now as he makes his way up to turn 13 in hot pursuit of race leader Franco Scribante and the orange Mustang. Scribante hasn't had much pressure up front and it looks like he's going to be able to hold his position as he rounds the final bend to find the checkered flag waiting for him. Faulkner pushing hard, but there are not enough laps left for him to catch Scribante. Franco Scribante taking victory by just over a second from Thomas Faulkner. Further back in the epic battle between these 4 Alphas, it's anyone's guess as to who will cross the line ahead of who, as their positions have changed so many times. Going onto the start-finish straight, it's Larry Davies ahead of Trevor Tuck, Gino Alassio and Roger Houston. Tuck moves alongside Davies and the pair dash for the line. In the end, it's Davies who edges ahead of Tuck. Another great battle which is going to the line is Shane Bartman, John Simpson, Terence Boertes and Marco Taylor. Side by side they go through the final bend and it's a sprint to the line. It's Bartman 1/10 of a second ahead of Boertes and Marco Taylor edges out John Simpson. Great racing. Confirmation of the results, and it's Franco Scribante who took victory. Larry Davies was the winner in the Battle of the Alphas. Shane Bartman took the Little Giants victory and edged out Terence Boertes. Some great close racing from all the drivers.
Yeah, it was great fun. We had a tremendous time. A wonderful spectacle for the Alphas. So close. Nobody touched anybody. I did manage to damage a rim when Larry was bowled in a corner, but a tremendous race.
This afternoon I won't be getting any beers from this side, but it was great fun to watch.
Tucked us around, Tuck. We got tucked up.
No kidding.
I'm going home now.
You're going to go hard.
Bring it on.
No, it wasn't too bad, and then Trevor decided to keep all the Alphas together and played the running black blocker, and yeah, at the end of the day it was quite good fun. But,
it was like herding
a bit hairy, trying to get all the cars to one turn all together, so yeah, very good.
I think we made good TV, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to second that because the cars were so close, and our friend here was kind of in between all of us from first to fourth to third, and I think it really demonstrates the skill of the 3 and 1 of us, that we didn't touch one another, and if we did anything we shouldn't have, I'm sorry about that, guys, but it was fantastic.
I had an okay start. Franco got me, and then I was trying to chase him, and I made a small mistake, and I ran wide in, I think it was turn 4. And then when I got back on, my brake pedal kept getting jammed solid, so I was having to hit it with my left foot to try and get it released. So that's when I had to slow down a little bit, and Thomas came past, my brother came past, but then I was able to catch up to my brother at the end. So it's all right, I got a third, brought it home, limped it home. The team will look at it and hopefully find a problem, and yeah, hopefully I'll be back there in the next race.
It looks like the team were able to get Jonathan's car running properly again as he takes his 3rd place on the grid. Into turn one, the big machines barrel, and it's almost 3 abreast in second place with the Chevelle, the Mustang, and the Nova. Jonathan du Toit leads the Chevelle of Mark du Toit and the Mustang of Thomas Faulkner through turn 2. Roy Prondo is hot on Faulkner's heels, with Trevor Tuck right behind him. Tuck has a look down the inside of Prondo going into turn 3 and 4, but is not able to make a move yet. Looking back from Faulkner, and you can see just how hard Prondo is trying as he almost loses it coming out of turn 4. This gives Tuck a chance to pull up alongside him as the pair race down the back straight. It's the orange Mustang of Franco Scribante who leads Mark du Toit through Sunset. Trevor Tuck has managed to find a way past Roy Prondo as they go through Sunset and head up to Clubhouse. Thomas Faulkner in the Sunday Times Mustang is pushing hard as he pulls alongside Mark du Toit in the smoky Unix Chevelle heading into the S's. They are side by side through the S's, and Trevor Tuck in his little Alpha is right behind them, keen to get in on the action. Up the hill to Leocorp they go, and there's nothing in it between the Mustang and the Chevelle. The Mustang manages to edge ahead, and the little Alpha of Trevor Tuck follows him through. Great driving here, and with the 2 cars on the inside line, the Chevelle's forced to go out wide. Roy Prondo's right up there as well, but he doesn't quite manage to make it past Mark du Toit as they head down the mine shaft. Side by side, Trevor Tuck and Mark du Toit race down the mine shaft. The Alpha has the inside line heading into the bowl, and this might give him the advantage. Through the bowl and up the hill, and Trevor Tuck in the red Alpha has managed to pass the great big Chev Chevelle. He now sets off in pursuit of the Mustang. Round turn 13, and Tuck gets the Alpha a little sideways on the exit. Down the hill, and it is Mustang versus Alpha and Chevelle versus Alpha. Into the final bend, and Faulkner and Tuck kick up a bit of cement dust as they make their way onto the main straight. Tuck doing everything he can to hang on to the Mustang, but when it comes to the straight line speed, the Mustang has the horses. Mark du Toit and the Chevelle's looking for a way back past the little Alpha. Into turn 1, and du Toit is edged ahead of Tuck and keeps the position as they head through turn 2. Picking up with a left off in race 1, Larry Davies leads Roger Houston and Gino Alacio through the S's. There is little to split these 3 Alphas. Into the bowl, and Trevor Tuck has found his way past Mark du Toit, and Roy Prondo is right behind du Toit looking for a way past. He locks up going into the bowl, and this sends him spinning. Both du Toit and Prondo facing the wrong way on the track. They managed to turn themselves around and get going again. Oh, that would have given Faulkner and Tuck a bit of breathing room ahead of them. A quick look at the replay, and Prondo was having a look down the inside of du Toit when he locked up, and there might have even been a bit of contact there, and this is what sent both cars around. Coming up to Leocorp, and Alacio and Houston are side by side. Houston has the inside line and moves ahead of Alacio. Larry Davies is right behind the pair, watching the action unfold. On the main straight, it's Shane Bartman in his Alpha who leads Terence Boertes in the Mini and Ben van der Westhuizen in the Lotus Cortina. A great battle between these 3, also picking up from race 1. Thomas Faulkner is making up some ground on the orange Mustang of Franco Scribante as the pair make their way through the double left-handers of Leocorp. Down the mine shaft they drop. Faulkner pushing hard, and he passes Scribante and moves into second place. It looks like there might be a problem with Scribante's Mustang though, as he doesn't appear to be able to fight back. Climbing the hill to turn 13, and Faulkner pulls away, and there's a rapidly closing Alpha behind Scribante. Down the hill to the final bend, and Scribante pulls into the pits. Something definitely not right with the Mustang. Scribante's retirement moves Trevor Tuck up into 3rd place. Shane Bartman and Ben van der Westhuizen are side by side coming into the bowl. The Lotus Cortina has the inside line and takes the position from Bartman. Behind them is John Simpson in his BMW 2002. Into Sunset, and Mark du Toit is sideways, backwards into the kitty litter. Well, let's hope he can get out. And with a little assistance from the marshals, he is back on the track. Looking at the replay, you can see just how locked up the Chevelle was coming into Sunset, and how lucky he was not to touch the tire barrier. Round the final bend for the final time comes Jonathan du Toit in his Nova, and the checkered flag is waiting for him. And unfortunately, due to a jump start decision, Dutoy is penalised 30 seconds and drops to third place. Now this means Falconer gets the win with the Alpha of Trevor Tuck in second. Shane Bartman won the Battle of the Little Giants and finished ahead of Terence Boertes.
It was a lot of fun. I saw Ben get past, so I thought, well, if he can, he hasn't got as much talent as me, I can too.
Yeah, I was behind the whole lot at the start. Then I managed to tick them off one by one and eventually led all of them until the last lap into the bowl. And my gearbox went and I had to give it back to all of them.
Watching him drive, that was awesome. But the BM snatched it at the end. So I thought I had a third, but luckily for the spin, the second good enough.
It was awesome for the first few laps.
We had a nice, good battle between the four of us, and then for the next few laps, I got great view of all three of them having an absolutely close battle. And then at the end, it all caught up super close again, and we were all four back together.
It was absolutely great, and the guys all drove well. Thanks for giving me space, guys. I appreciate that. Although some people did drive me onto the dirt.
Well, I can't give him everything, you know.
Struggled a bit with the car setup. We had a lot of understeer today, but we made it work, and we kept it consistent in the first heat to finish second, which was cool. And then we went out for the second heat, and the car suddenly got a misfire, so we were down on power. I just thought, you know what, I'm out here, stay out and see what happens. And yeah, it was cool because Franco dropped out, unfortunately for him, but fortunately for me, and I managed to come home second again. A good way to celebrate the last of the new Kyalami in its current format.
Join us after the break for more great action from the Midas Historic Tour.